I got some high school highlights for you. I got some picks for this weekend in college football, and I got some very early predictions on who's gonna win MVP and other awards in the NFL. It's a lot to talk about in the world of football. It's halftime, baby. Let's talk about it. What's good, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to the first installment of Halftime with Dizzy. I'm Dizzy, of course. I'm filming here in my lovely dorm room at Rocky Mountain College out here in Billings, Montana, man. And Halftime with Dizzy, just to give you a quick rundown before we get started of what this is about. Halftime, man. These videos going to be posted on Wednesdays. That's halfway through the week. You done had the first two quarters go by, you know, the Monday, Tuesday. We got to talk about those, you know, those days and what happened in those days in the world of football. But you also got the weekend coming up. Got to talk about what to expect coming up in those few days. So it's really where we just get a chance to talk football. I mean, this first episode is going to be things that I think of, things that I see and that I want to talk about. But as we move forward, I'd like to hear from y'all, get some questions from y'all so that I can give you some answers and we can really be interactive. So that's kind of an idea of what this is all about, man. Let's get right into it, man. So first off, we're going to start with some high school ball, man. Butte High versus Billings West. It was an interesting game, man. Check out some highlights right here. Now, West was supposed to win this game. They were favored. They were the team that was looked at as more talented, and they were winning for most of this game. They were up 10-0 in the first three quarters, and then I don't know if they started putting something special in that Gatorade, or, you know, Bill Belichick started calling the plays for Butte, but Butte ends up scoring 21 points in the fourth quarter, and they win this game 21-17, man. And I talked to Aiden Cushine after the game, who scored the game-winning touchdown. Check out what he had to say about the game.
I mean, it felt great because, you know, on all the statistics, everybody had us losing this game by a lot. So, you know, we just came to prove what we're made of, and, you know, I have a great team behind me that is very supportive, and we just came out and executed everything we planned.
For sure, for sure. Now, how will this win set the tone for the rest of the season?
It'll set the tone because we'll have a lot more motivation, and you know, the team's up now, so we just got to stay up and keep winning.
West High looks to bounce back in their game versus Helena this upcoming week, and Butte looks to keep things rolling against Bozeman. Should be an exciting season for both teams, man. Next off, sticking on the topic of high school football, man, I wanted to touch on this real quick. Very serious. Over the weekend, there was a shooting at an Oklahoma high school football game, and according to a local news station, 16-year-old Jalen Carter was killed. And first and foremost, my thoughts, my prayers, my condolences to his family, man. I can't even imagine. What that phone call must have been like, what, you know, everything that they're feeling right now. I can't imagine it. I got two younger brothers who are teenagers, and it's unreal to even think about that, man. And the reason why I want to talk about this is that, and the reason why it hit me so hard is that, football is a sport that we play to get away from things. Fortunately, I never grew up in a rough environment, gangs and things like that. But I know plenty of people who have, and they play football to escape that. So to go to a game and now you gotta fear, you gotta think, man, I might lose my life tonight because of a shooting or something like that. To me, that's not right. That's tragic. And if you know me, I'm someone who's never been big in terms of like politics, stuff like that. I've never really been into that. But what I am big on is right and wrong, and that's not right. That's not right. This is a sport that we all love so much, and no teenager, no high schooler should have to fear for their life while at a football game. And like I said, my thoughts, my prayers, my condolences go out to this young man's family, man. He's different, man. That's diffy. That's a word that I use a lot for someone who does something different. Someone, the talented dudes, the elite of the elite. They diffy, they different. And so basically, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna look at stats from different people at all levels, all throughout the country, and basically pick who's different, who did something that really jumped out. And starting with the little homie down at Bishop Mama alma mater, man, Brandyn Whetherspoon, 2 interceptions against the rival St. Paul. Now I know that's gonna sound a little biased. Like I said, that's a little homie, and Bishop Mama, my alma mater. But I ain't picking him for either of those reasons. I'm picking him because I know the hard work he put in, man. He don't say nothing. Literally, he don't say nothing. He just puts his head down, goes to work. Y'all can keep sleeping on him if y'all want to, but I'm telling you, this dude, he's freakishly talented, and he going places, man. Proud of you, Brandyn. 2 interceptions against St. Paul. Big win. Packed out stadium. I mean, it's tradition. Got to beat the slime all the time, man. Next up, Kai Parker, bro. I was going through Max Preps, right? I was going through Max Prep, looking through, okay, who did good this past weekend, and I want you to listen closely to this stat line right here. 9 catches, 306 yards, 5 touchdowns in a win against Cooper High School. This is Kai Parker at the Woodlands Christian Academy in Woodlands, Texas. Now, here's my issue right here. Ain't Texas the place that they always say, oh, they might be better than Cali at football. They might be better than Cali. Ain't one Cali school letting one person have 9 catches, 306 yards, and 5 touchdowns. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't care if it's modern day or I don't care if it's dang Bassett or Claremont High School. Ain't nobody allowing that down in Cali. I can promise you that, man. But all jokes aside, man, Kai Parker, I don't know the dude, but I saw this and I said, I got to include this into this video. That's different for real. I mean, 300 yards, 5 touchdowns. That's wild. That's wild. Congrats to you, man. I'm sure you only going up for the rest of the season for sure. Last one on the list here, Louisiana Tech wide receiver Smoke Harris. Where there's smoke, there's fire. And bro was on fire. 11 catches, 155 yards, and a touchdown in his win against FIU. Man, people don't understand how difficult this really is. It may look easy on camera, things like that, but this really is difficult to have. You got 4 of the dudes that are trying to get the ball out there on offense, and for you to get the ball 11 times, and with those 11 catches, you rack up 155 yards and a touchdown. That's big time, man. Like I said about Kai, I'm sure he's only going up from there, man. So Brandyn Whetherspoon, Kai Parker, Smoke Harris, man, different, and man, if you think you different, or if you think I should be including somebody else, send me a message, man, and I'll get them on this list for sure. But those are my 3 from this past weekend, man. Moving on to some picks, man. Some picks. College football this weekend. I got 4 games listed that I'm going to have my eye on for sure. Starting off with a big one, man. Big one in terms of rankings. You got LSU versus Florida State. I think Florida State's 8 and LSU's 5, if I'm not mistaken. So, big game there. LSU's favored to win. But I'm taking the underdog. I'm going Florida State, man. Jordan Travis, I think a lot of people kind of sleeping on him. going into the season. And I think he gonna try to wake a lot of people up as he trying to get drafted next year. Of course, he want to be a high draft pick, but you got Caleb Williams, you got Michael Mary, you got all types of dudes that people have their eyes on. I think Jordan Travis ready to wake some people up. So I got Florida State winning the game this weekend. Next on my list, Utah versus Florida, Pac-12. Well, I mean, I don't know if it's Pac-12 no more. Everybody leaving, but Pac-12 versus the SEC. I got Utah winning that game. They're the favorites, and I got them winning that game. Florida just ain't been the same in a while, man. Just watched the Swamp Kings, but they ain't got none of them dudes no more. Florida has a new quarterback. Gonna be trying to get adapted to a new system. I don't see them pulling off this first game, so I'm gonna go with Utah right there. Next one on the list, TCU versus Colorado, and we all know why people watching this game. Prime time up at Colorado, man, but TCU's the favorites, and on here, in terms of the spread, they got TCU favored by 21 points. Oof, man, I don't know what Dion would do if his team lose by that much, man. So I'm gonna take TCU, but I don't think they're gonna cover that spread, man. But TCU gonna win this game. I think TCU is looking at everything that everyone's saying about Colorado, all the hype that they got, and they wanna shut that down. So I'm gonna take TCU to win that game. And the last one on my list, Washington versus Boise State. My boy D Kutch up at Washington. It's his turn, man. They about to ball out. I got them winning this game as well. Michael Penix Jr., along with the weapons that they got coming back over there, I think they're going to be a real force to reckon with this year. Moving on to some very early predictions, man. This is what I mentioned at the beginning of the show, and I'm going to deliver right here. So I got the main awards that the NFL hands out at the end of the year. MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, Comeback Player of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year, right? And basically, I'm going to give you my predictions for the year, man. I did a lot of research. I did a lot of looking into past, future, all types of stuff. And I came up with these guys, man. So if you don't agree, I guess that's on you, but I'm really going to spit some knowledge, and let me know in the comments, man. Let me know if you agree or if you got someone else that you picking for each category, man. But here we go. For MVP, man, most valuable player. A lot of people think Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, Aaron Rodgers, maybe Josh Allen. I'm going with someone not a lot of people talking about, man. Justin Herbert, Los Angeles Chargers quarterback, man. A lot of bouncing back he got to do, man. That playoff loss last year, that was crazy. That you got to bounce back from that. But dude threw for 4,700 yards last year, 25 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. And you got to remember, he had fractured rib cartilage. He was playing hurt, and had those types of numbers. And on top of that, a lot of guys on his team were hurt at different points in the year. This is a list of guys right here: Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Rashawn Slater, Joey Bosa, Tavon Campbell, J.C. Jackson, Jalen Guyton, and that's just to name a few. There's a lot more that were hurt all throughout the year, and those are the numbers he put up without having those guys at one point or another. When he was last fully healthy and had guys around him who were healthy, that was in 2021. He threw for over 5,000 yards, 38 touchdowns, and 15 interceptions. I mean, that's an MVP caliber year if you ask me. So I think you bring back all those guys healthy, and you got that good squad around him, he going to have a good year. And I think he going to play at an MVP caliber, and ultimately he going to win it. Next up, man, Offensive Player of the Year. This was tough, man. This was tough, but I'm going to give it to the Cheetah, man, Tyreek Hill. I think he going to go off. Last year he had 1,700 yards, 7 touchdowns, and 2 only played 13 of the games that Tyreek played, man. And with that being said, his stats, he only had 100 yards less than Justin Jefferson and 1 touchdown less. And, of course, Justin Jefferson won Offensive Player of the Year last year, went berserk. And if Jefferson doesn't have that numbers, you could easily say Tyreek Hill probably would have won Offensive Player of the Year last year. So I think now that he's really acclimated in the system with Mike McDaniels over in Miami, Tua's going to come back healthy, and hopefully he can stay that way, fingers crossed. I think Tyreek going to have a big year, and I think he'll end up being the Offensive Player of the Year. Now, Defensive Player of the Year. Another name that I think is getting lost in the shuffle right now. Everyone think the Bosa brothers, TJ Watt, Michael Parsons, of course. You know, Cowboy fans, they gotta throw their guy in there. But I'm gonna throw another name at you, Myles Garrett. I think he gonna win Defensive Player of the Year, man. Last year he had 16 sacks, which is only 2.5 less than Nick Bosa, who won Defensive Player of the Year last year. And check this out. According to Sports Illustrated, he faced the most double teams of anyone in the league. Meaning, when the ball snapped, there's 2 guys going to block Myles Garrett. And here's why that's important. They picked up Zadarius Smith, a guy who's an elite pass rusher, had at least 10 sacks in three of the last 4 years, So you can't double team Myles Garrett, because if you do, you're going to leave Zadarius Smith one-on-one and he going to sack your quarterback. So now that he'll face less double teams, man, come on, man. You've seen Myles Garrett, bro. I mean, he out there looking like the Hulk and Thanos and, I mean, anyone else you want, a damn bodybuilder. So nobody trying to see him, man, one-on-one. And I think he going to have a lot of sacks, and he going to be the reason the Browns defense is a lot better than they were last year, man. And he going to win Defensive Player of the Year in my book. All right, this next one, man. I'm excited for this guy to come back, man. Comeback Player of the Year, Calvin Ridley. That's who I think going to win Comeback Player of the Year, man. Last time we saw him on the field healthy and play a full season was in 2020. He didn't even play the whole season. He only played 15 games, and he had over 1,300 yards and 9 touchdowns. Matt Ryan was his quarterback. I mean, and dude was old at that time. I mean, bro graduated school with Joe Biden. Like, he old. That team only won 3 games, and Calvin really put up those numbers. Now he gonna be with Trevor Lawrence and Doug Peterson, who they did great things last year towards the end of the year. You got Evan Ingram over there, Christian Kirk, Zay Jones, and other types of weapons. I think Calvin really gonna have a big year, and he might be that piece. Watch out for the Jaguars. People sleeping, watch out for them. Calvin really might be the piece to kind of put him over the hump. I think you go and you listen to dudes talk about Calvin Ridley and the way he runs his routes and the way he goes and catches the ball, dude gonna be a problem this year for sure. So I got him as my Comeback Player of the Year. Now the rookies. The rookies were tough. I ain't gonna lie. The rookies were tough. My Offensive Rookie of the Year, man, it's hard to pick him because dude beat me up in high school when he was over at Mater Dei. Bryce Young, man, #1 overall pick. I got him winning Rookie of the Year simply because I feel like Carolina made more of an effort to put more around him than kind of the other quarterback situations, man. On top of that, he's mobile. He's got a veteran receiver in Adam Thielen that's going to show him the ropes, that's going to help him get better. And I know the big question mark with Carolina is the offensive line. Well, one, Bryce Young, like I said, he's mobile. He can move around. 2, the last quarterback to win Rookie of the Year was Justin Herbert in 2020. Justin Herbert was sacked 32 times that year, and that was the most by any rookie. He was tied with Joe Burrow for the most. Panthers allowed 36 sacks last year in 2022, so I don't think sacks is going to be a huge reason why Bryce Young can't win Rookie of the Year and can't thrive. I think he's going to do a great job. He's a born leader. Like I said, mobile, got some good pieces around him, and Adam Thielen, Miles Sanders, guys like that. Great defense. I think he's going to be just fine. I think he's going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. Last but not least, Defensive Rookie of the Year, man. Oof. There's a handful of guys you could have picked, but I'm going to go with Jalen Carter, defensive tackle for the Philadelphia Eagles out of Georgia, man. Have you seen him in this preseason, in this training camp? Dude looks like a monster, and the crazy part is he's on a defense that's already really good. You got Fletcher Cox at the middle, you got Jordan Davis, you got Hassan Reddick off the edge, you got Nakobe Dean and Nolan Smith, also Georgia Bulldog guys. This defense is real. So again, you're not going to be able to double team one guy. You're going to have one-on-one matchups, and I think Jalen Carter is really going to be a force to reckon with. And you got to remember, dude was supposed to be the #1 overall pick. There was a time where we were saying he was going to be the #1 overall pick over Bryce, over CJ, over Richardson and Bijan and all these guys. Got into a little bit of trouble. The assumption is that guys around him are helping him kind of stay on track, stay focused. So as long as that happens, ain't no way anyone going to be able to stop this dude, man. I got him winning Defensive Rookie of the Year. So to recap, man. Justin Herbert gonna be the MVP. Tyreek Hill gonna be Offensive Player of the Year. Myles Garrett, Defensive Player of the Year. Calvin Ridley, Comeback Player of the Year. Bryce Young, Offensive Rookie of the Year. And Jalen Carter, Defensive Rookie of the Year, man. You got a problem, man? Drop a comment below, man. Tell me who you think is gonna win these awards, man. But those are my picks, and we're gonna check back in at the end of the year, see how many I get right or if I get all of them wrong, man. So last thing here, man, before I end this video, man, it's a short one. Like I said, it's stuff that I think, but as we keep going, I hope that we could be more interactive. You guys ask me some questions, I'm gonna answer them. I'm gonna maybe even get some phone calls in here. Well, you never know. We'll see what the future brings. But the last thing I want to do on the show, and end every show this way, man, is the way every halftime ends. Every halftime in the locker room ends with the coach giving the speech to hype the guys up to finish the game. So, like I said, it's Wednesday, but no matter what day you're watching this is what we're gonna call the halftime speech, and it's gonna be a little motivation from me to you to kind of finish off the week, finish off the day, wherever you are in your life, to finish strong. So, here's what as I'm recording this, is pre-recorded, of course, but here's what the verse of today was. And I think it's perfect to give a speech about, man. It's Ephesians 3:16, man. It says, I pray that out of his glorious riches he may strengthen you with power through his spirit in your inner being. In your inner being, sorry. That's huge, man. That's deep. We doubt the power of God a lot, man. We doubt the power of God a lot. We say we believe in him, we say we have faith in him, but we don't allow him to truly push us, to truly strengthen him. We kind of try to take over and take the wheel, man. So my challenge to you, rest of this week, rest of this day, like I said, whenever you're watching this, man, just lean on God. Trust God, trust his power, trust his strength, because I promise you it's going to lead you to the promised land, man. It's going to lead you to all the goals and all the accomplishments that you want, man. And I can speak from experience, times where I tried to kind of yank the wheel and I ended up crashing off the side of the road, man. So just lean on God and let him guide you, let him direct you, man. If you're still watching at this point, I thank you so much, man. This is only the first episode, and I'm excited for everything else to come, man. And like I said, make sure you subscribe, you like, you comment, you share with a friend, man. And stay tuned. I'm gonna have another video for you real soon.